Uh, now, when you study a poem, you encounter with different words like feet, meter, rhythm, accent, syllable. Now, these words like feet, meter, rhythm, accent, syllable, they form a part of what we come to know as prosody. So, when we are talking about feet, meter, rhythm, accent, syllable, or scansion of a poem, we are actually talking about prosody. What is this? What is this word prosody? Prosody is actually the science or art of versification. Now, this, because I have seen that very often the examination, the meaning of the word prosody is also asked. So, what is the meaning of prosody? Prosody is basically the science or art of versification, including the study of metrical structure, stanza forms, scansion of the poem, and all that. So, when we are going to study feet, meter, rhythm, accent, syllable, etc., we are studying prosody. Now, you see, the word which you very often encounter in your class when a teacher discusses a poem uh, is foot, or the plural feet. So you see, the first and the most important thing is that if you want to know, you want to understand the prosody, you want to understand all these terms. So first of all, you must know the meaning of these terms. Then I'll give you examples in order to make you understand. Now, what is foot? A poetic foot is a unit of stressed and unstressed syllables in a line of poetry. So, a foot consists of stressed and unstressed syllables in a line of poetry. Or if you say feet, poetic feet are basically based on the number of syllables in each foot. So, what is the most you are going to find out the meter, the rhythm, and all that. So, you are supposed to know about the syllables because what is foot? A poetic foot is a unit of stressed and unstressed syllables in a line of poetry. So, you must know about syllables. So, later on, I'll tell you now, as you know, that when you recite a poem, then you expect actually that, or the listener always expects that the rhythm must flow from the poem. Now, rhythm is one of the important components of a poem, and rhythm comes out of something. So, what is basically rhythm? Rhythm can be described as the beat and the pace of a poem. When you recite a poem, and when the rhythm comes out of that, actually depends on the beat and the pace of a poem. And how is it created? This is again very important. Rhythm is created by the pattern of stressed and unstressed syllables in a line or verse. So, if you know the pattern of the stressed and unstressed syllables in a line, so I think you will understand the rhythm of a poem. So, what is required from the side of the reader, that when I, for example, recite a poem, I have to recite it the way that, I must know the stressed and unstressed syllable, the proper rise and fall. Then the rhythm will automatically come. Now, for example, when you watch a movie, so in a song also, the beat and rhythm is very significant, and that rhythm actually gives the content of the poem also. For example, I would like to give you the example of a poem by Alfred Lord Tennyson, that is Break, Break, Break. Now, the title of the poem is this Break, Break, Break. If I, talk in the sense of the rhythm, so it is like break, break, break. Now, when you are reciting the lines of the poem break, break, break on the cold grey stones o sea. So when you say break, 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 actually this is a poem which is an elegy on the death of poet's friend Hallam. So when you recite a poem, this poem, break, break, break. So I mean, as if your heart were, breaking. So the last line, this one, just like in the music in a film, the beat or rhythm helps to build an expectation of the content. You come to know about the content also, that this poem is going to describe, the mood of, the poet is lamenting on the death of his, friend. So rhythm is a very significant component. Now coming to the most important part, syllable. If you come to know what syllable is, I think you will understand the rhythm, you will understand the feet, as I have just told you in the beginning. What is this syllable? Now, a syllable is a single unbroken sound of a spoken or written word. Syllables usually contain a vowel and accompanying consonants. Uh, so you what basically syllable is? Syllable is a single unbroken sound of a spoken word. Now sometimes syllables are also referred to as the beats, as I have just told you, beats. And now how will you find out syllables in a word? Now, syllables are actually based on the vowel sound. So you must be very cautious and attentive toward the vowel sound while pronouncing the word. Then I think you will come to know about the syllable. Now, the number of times you hear a vowel, A, E, I, O, U, in a word is equal to the number of syllables. A syllable is basically the sound of a vowel. When you pronounce a word, so the sound, as many times you pronounce the vowel sound, you will count the number of cell. I'll give you some example, then you'll understand it. But you have to keep in your mind that the number of times you hear a vowel, not the vowel sound. Just remember this. When I say vowel, A, E, I, O, U, it means vowel sound, not the letters. Now, what is the right way, or the more, or the easier way to identify it? A good way to identify syllables is to think about whether you need to change your mouth shape to say the next bit of the word. When you speak a word, then I mean, you just think that, are you going to change the shape of your mouth? If you're going to change the shape of your mouth, means you are going to create a new vowel sound. So you will understand. I'll give you some examples. Like for example, when you say the word, this word, when you're going to say this word, how will you pronounce this word? You will say light, light. So, you have this vowel sound, light, E. We have this vowel sound, light. So, while pronouncing this word, you have one, vowel sound, light. We never say, now, as I have just said, a good way to identify syllables is to think about whether you need to change your mouth shape. I mean, the shape of your mouth while pronouncing the word. When you're saying light, you are not changing the shape of the mouth. You are just saying in the flow, light. It's not like la it. I mean, it's not like that. You are not pronouncing it like that. La it, light. So one vowel sound, and you are not changing the shape of the mouth. So this the word light contains one syllable. Now coming to this next word. Now this is How will you pronounce this? Ahead. Ahead. So we have again a head. You are changing shape of the mode. A head. A head. So a is one vowel sound. Then in head, a sound is vowel sound. A head. Two vowel sounds are there. Two syllables are there. Or you can say that you are not. You are changing the shape of your mouth. A head. A head. It's two syllables are there. Now coming to this word, like how will you pronounce this word? Poetry. This is poetry. So we have three syllables. How? Poetry. 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 So this is again syllables. Now come to this this word. Radiator. 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 How many syllables are there? Radiator. So vowel sounds. Re, D, D, A, the vowels of four vowels, or the pauses or the changing of the shape of the radiator, radiator, four syllables. Now look at this word, abbreviated. How do you pronounce this? Abbreviated, abbreviated. Five, a sound, bre sound, we sound, a sound, a sound. So this is abbreviated, five syllables. Now then you come to this word, authoritarian, 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 authoritarian. This is, we never say authoritarian. We always say authoritarian, authoritarian. So we have six syllables. Similarly, when you say amended, amended, three syllables. When you say wonderful, wonderful, three syllables. Although, two syllables. So we have like you have based your pronunciation on the vowel sound, and you have come to know about the syllables. One thing more, which I am going to tell you later about stress, about accent. Now, when you say the word this one, when you are going to pronounce this word, so how will you say it? Abbreviated? No, it's not it's abbreviated. Abbreviated. Where are you putting your emphasis and focus? Abbreviated on the word ba. Okay. So capital letter I have written in order to show that this is stress actually. Abbreviated. Now when you come to this word, like for example, when you are coming to this word, so how will you know? This is not authoritarian. It's authoritarian. Where are you putting the stress? Te. Authoritarian. Authoritarian. So you have to find out the syllable also where you are putting stress and accent, and meter is based on that. Later on I will tell you. So I hope you have understood about this, how you are going to find out the syllable. The finding out syllable in a line actually, in a word actually, is very significant. Now there is a minor difference between syllables and phonemes. You see, if you are a student of linguistics, so you must have heard phonemes, which is a part of phonology. So you see, what is difference between syllable and phoneme? So you should not get confused with phonemes. How does a syllable differ from phoneme? Now, what is basically phoneme? A phoneme is the smallest unit of sound. Okay, the smallest unit of sound is a phoneme. You will study phonemes and all that. As in morphology, you study morpheme. Similarly, in phonology, you study phoneme. So, what is this phoneme? The number of syllables in a word is unrelated to the number of phonemes it contains. For example, you just say ba, ka, ta, cha, sa. We have the example of phoneme. Now, the word, for example, is chat. Chat, it, cha, cha, ta. How many sounds are there? There are three sounds. Okay, so minimal sound is phoneme. So chat has three phonemes: cha, ta. Light, for example, la, eater, la, eater, la, eater, three, sounds. But if you pronounce the word chat or if you pronounce the word light, so how many syllables will be there? Chat, light, one syllable only. Though they have three phonemes, but only one syllable. Because I told you about syllable. When you say chat, we never say chat. We always chat, one vowel sound. Chat, light, e, one vowel sound. Or you speak, you pronounce this word in a flow. Okay, chat, light. Now, you see, a word is when you are going to understand the word syllable, so you must also know whether the word has one syllable or two syllables or three syllables or more than three syllables. There are actually particular words for that. I have already given you the example of a word which is one syllable, two syllables, three syllables, four syllables, five syllables, and six syllables. Okay. Now, the word monosyllables, or if you or the adjective monosyllabic. Okay. When I say this word is monosyllabic, meaning is that this word has one syllable. For example, cat, bit, gone, ball, eat. These words, as example, are actually monosyllabic words. Mono is a prefix meaning one. Monosyllabic, words, because they have got one syllable. We never say gone. We are gone. Okay, one vowel sound is there. Now, then we have disyllables or bisyllables, or disyllabic or bisyllabic, you can say. Those words which are comprising two syllables. For example, the word refer. We say refer, 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 two syllables. Or accent, airline, eat, in, silence. So all these words are the example of bisyllables, or they are bisyllabic words. Okay. Now, example of trisyllabic. What is this tri? Tri again is a prefix meaning three, comprising three syllables. For example, inwardly, increasing. So we have these examples. Now, after three, actually I gave you the example of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 syllables earlier. But here, actually, what you'll find out here, that you see you have this example of if a word has more than three syllables. If it has more than three syllables, so it will call multi-syllables or polysyllabic. Okay, comprising more than three syllables. Example is this. How do you pronounce this word? This is electricity, electricity, electricity. Four syllables are there. So you can call it multisyllabic word or polysyllabic word. So if I say, for example, okay, this is monosyllabic word, this is bisyllabic word, this is trisyllabic word, this is polysyllabic word. So you can use these words in order to understand it. Now, coming to another important point, that is called meter. What is this meter? Because I explained the term feet, rhythm, syllable. Then I think you will understand meter. What is this meter? The meter refers to the number of feet used in each line. So what will you understand? If you want to know about meter, you will understand the number of feet used in each line. And about feet, I told you that feet you will come to know if you know about the syllables. Now, the meter in a line of poetry is identified through the stressed and unstressed pattern of words. Every line is actually measured in a metrical, feet. Now, usually what happens, a metrical foot has, one stressed syllable and one or two unstressed syllable. So I'm coming to a very important point. So, a foot consists of either two syllables or three syllables. Means either it is bisyllabic or, trisyllabic, a foot actually. So, in these two syllabic words, one is stressed, the other is unstressed. Maybe the first is stressed, the other is So the foot consists of, a metrical foot usually has one stressed syllable and one or two unstressed syllables. Okay, so this you will understand it. Now, coming to the important poetic meters. What are the important poetic meters? Monometer. Actually, they are based on, if you know about the meaning of the prefix, then you will understand it. Monometer. Mono, as I told you, prefix meaning one. Monometer means a line consisting of 1 foot. Diameter, a line consisting of 2 feet. Trimeter, a line consisting of 3 feet. Tetrameter, tetra, prefix meaning 4, a line consisting of 4 feet. Penta, pentameter, penta is a prefix meaning 5. Penta, line consisting of 5 feet. Hexameter, again hexa, a prefix meaning 6, a line consisting of 6 feet. Heptameter, hepta, a line consisting of 7 feet. Hepta is a prefix which means 7. Octometer, octo, a line consisting of 8 feet. So this is actually the pattern. You will keep it in your mind. Now, then I'm coming to another very important point: accent. About stress. What is this accent? Accent is actually a mark of stress on a particular syllable. Okay, when you pronounce a word, you are putting a stress on a particular syllable. For example, when I say poetry, or the examples I have just given you about stressed and unstressed syllable. So if you are putting stress or emphasis on a particular syllable, it is called accented syllable. And actually, the meter is based on the stressed and unstressed syllable. If you put stress or emphasis on a particular syllable, it will be called a stressed syllable. Now, the entire prosody rests on this, stressed and unstressed syllable. So, prosody actually is based on the syllables and also whether the syllables are stressed or unstressed. How will you break the word into syllables, and how will you put emphasis or accent or stress on that? Then I think you will understand. You see, when, for example, you recite a line, when I consider how my life is spent, or when you recite a line, the curfew tolls the knell of the parting day. So you are a bit confused actually how to put emphasis on what a syllable. So rules are not there, but there are certain points which you must remember. For example, this nouns, adjectives, and main verbs are generally stressed. So when you are reciting a poem, actually reciting a line of a poem, you just when you break a word, you just see generally nouns, adjectives, and main verbs are stressed. Pronouns and auxiliary verbs. Auxiliary, you just this spelling, please. I mean, this is typed. The pronouns and auxiliary verbs may or may not be stressed. Prefixes and suffixes do not have accents. Okay, so this you will remember. Some exceptions are there, but generally it happens that prefixes and suffixes do not have accents. Prepositions are not stressed. Conjunctions carry stress if they begin a new line of thought. If the line is new, thought is new, so conjunctions will carry stress, otherwise they will not carry stress. So you will keep all these points in your mind, then I think you will understand stressed, how will you put stressed. Now, very important point which I am going to tell you. Now, they are the kinds of meter you will keep in your mind. Okay. Now, first is this iamb or iambic. Okay. Now, if I say that it is iambic meter, so what is the meaning of this iambic? Iambic means, number one, now these these three meter, like iambic, trochee, and spondy, they are two syllabic. Okay. Now, if I say iamb or iambic, meaning is that it consists of two syllables where the first is unstressed and second is stressed. Very important thing you will keep in your mind, and very often asked in the examination also. In an iambic meter, the first syllable is unstressed and second is stressed. For example, when you say enjoy, enjoy. When you enjoy, number two syllables are there, and you are putting stress on the word joy, not an n. Enjoy. So the first syllable is n, the second is joy. N is not given that much emphasis as the word joy. Enjoy. Okay. So in a word where the first syllable is unstressed and second is stressed, it's an example of iambic. Now coming to troche. Okay, just reverse of that. The first is stressed, second is unstressed. Again two syllabic. Okay, now but it's reverse of that. Here we have the first is stressed and the second unstressed. For example, the word conquer. We say conquer, conquer, conquer. We speak with more emphasis, more force, more pressure. So emphasis is on the word con, not on ka. So the first syllable, if the first syllable is stressed and second is unstressed, it's an example of troche. Spondy. Stressed plus stressed. Both the syllables are stressed. Go, go. For example, if we say go, go. So we have both the syllables are stressed. Coming to three syllabic. Okay. Anapaest or anapestic. First is unstressed, then unstressed, then stressed. Okay. So first two syllables are unstressed, then third one is stressed. Okay. For example, if we say to the north, to the north, to unstressed, the unstressed, because I told you that the prepositions, articles, okay, to the north. So north is stressed. Three syllables are there. First two are unstressed, third is stressed. Come to this dactyl or dactylic. Stressed plus unstressed plus unstressed. Three syllables are there, but first one will be stressed, reverse of anapaest. First will be stressed and the last two will be unstressed. We say fly away, fly away. So fly away. So first is stressed and then we have two unstressed. Now then this word you will also remember, poetic. Very important word, often asked in examination. Unstressed plus unstressed. If the two syllables are there, both are unstressed, then for example we say in the, on a. So this is an example of poetic. So this is this pattern. Now coming to this, like the very often quoted line from On His Blindness by John Milton. Now it's a sonnet. All of you know. If I ask you that what is a sonnet, you always say the sonnet is a poem of 14 lines. Each line is iambic, pentameter. Okay. Now if I say this iambic pentameter, okay, what is the meaning of pentameter? Pentameter means 5 feet. Okay, I have already. Pentameter means 5 feet. Iambic means two syllabic word, two syllabic feet actually, where the first is unstressed and second is stressed. So what is this iambic? Now if it is iambic pentameter line, so number one you will remember, if it is iambic pentameter line, if it is pentameter means 5 feet will be there. 1 foot equal to 2 syllables, 5 feet equal to 10 syllables. So number one is that this line will have 10 syllables, means 5 feet, and the first one will be, if it is iambic, then first will be unstressed and second will be stressed. Now let us recite this. How will you recite? When I consider how my life is spent, when one syllable, I one syllable, and then how do you pronounce this? Consider, consider, okay, consider, consider too. So you have this like when I, 1 foot means 2 syllables, consider 2 syllables 1 feet, or how 2 syllables 3, my life 2 syllables 1 feet is spent, spent. It's not is spent. With the is spent 2 syllables will be there, but this is not the pronunciation actually. Spent. Okay. So 1 syllable. So is spent 2 syllables means 1 foot. 1 foot. So the 1 foot, 2 foot, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 feet equal to 10 syllables means pentameter. Okay. And when you recite it, you are putting more emphasis on I, on said, on how, on life. I have made it bold letter, life and spent. So when I means first syllable is unstressed, second is stressed. When is unstressed, I is stressed. So when first is unstressed, second is stressed, it is an example of iambic actually. So the line is iambic pentameter. Okay. Similarly, you have half my days in this dark world and white. This again, the 10 syllables will be there, 5 feet will be there, and pattern is the same. Is unstressed, half is stressed. My is unstressed, days is stressed. So we have the pattern of unstressed, unstressed. That is, this is iambic. This is example from On His Blindness. We have sometimes, mixed meter, as I have taken the example from Immortality Ode. So this is for you actually to find out how to scan it. Like for example, this is the line, there was a time when meadow, grove and stream, the earth when every common sight to me did seem. This is actually the line from Immortality Ode. And if you're going to scan it, this actually the first line is an example of iambic pentameter. How this is iambic pentameter? You see that there was. So we have there one was one, two syllables, 1 feet, a time, 2 syllables, 1 feet, when med o, again third one, fourth one, fifth one. So we have 5 feet means 10 syllables, means pentameter. And when you recite it, then first is unstressed, second is stressed. This is again, I have made the stress syllable with bold mark. So this is iambic pentameter. Again, you see this. If you say this one, this is actually iambic tetrameter. I mean 4 feet are there, 8 syllables you will find out here. To me did seem, this iambic diameter. There are only 2 syllables, only 2 feet are there. To me, 1 foot, did seem 1 foot. So we have this. So this is a poem actually which has a mixed meter actually. First is iambic pentameter, then we have iambic tetrameter, then we have iambic diameter. Again, this apparelled in celestial light. This is iambic tetrameter. This is iambic pentameter. This is iambic pentameter. So we have the poems where we have the mixed meter also. It does not mean that the pattern will continue the same. But this I have given the example in order to show that we have the poems actually the lines which have mixed meter. If you read it, I mean I have made the stress syllable with bold marks, so I think you can easily understand it. This is turn wheresoever I may. This is actually a line from that poem. So I have tried to explain the major components of prosody. I hope you have understood it. Thank you very much.